Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger. For a long time since I've been on YouTube, I've talked a lot about some of the unfair criticisms that I feel get thrown at TNA. And pretty soon I'm going to have to go ahead and do my unfair criticism of WWE video. I've been wanting to get around to that for a while and I've never been to do it, but for a long time I've talked about things where I feel like there's double standards, where I feel like WWE, and in some cases even Ring of Honor, does things that people seem to accept or give very little complaint about. But I feel like if TNA does the same thing, everybody goes overboard. And I've been thinking for a while to put together a comprehensive list of some of the main ones. And how I'm going to do this, I'm just going to go through just some of them, just a few at a time. I thought about originally just doing these all as one big video, but I realized I'm not gonna. That it would take. I realized that it would take a very. It would be a very long video if I did them all at once. Plus, I want to do just a few at a time, so it's easy for people to hear what I have to say on each one and make responses. So I'm gonna leave this video open to anyone who'd like to make a response to these, why they feel these aren't double standards, or why they feel that the IWC is justified in only complaining if TNA does it. So I'm gonna start with 3. You know, I've made the claim in the past that, you know, they're just, especially when it comes to WWE, there's just so many things that for some reason the IWC is forgiving of WWE for doing, but if TNA did the same thing, everybody bitch. It seems like, you know, you'd bitch if TNA did it. So I am going to list, I think, 4 in this video. Yeah, I'm going to do 4 in this video. Leave it open for people to respond. And I think I want to do this where it's only video responses. So I think I'm going to set this one for approved responses. So if you'd like to dispute one of these, make a response video and then I will post it for everyone to see. But I want only video responses for this one. You know, let's see here. And what I also might do is I might add smaller instances as we go, because I think, like I've said before, that like, I could probably point out something almost every week on WWE, watching Raw and SmackDown, where I feel like, man, nobody complains, but if TNA did it, there'd be a meltdown. So I think probably at least maybe once a week or every 2 weeks, I'll make another one of these videos adding to the list. Okay, I've babbled enough, so let's get started. First, dropped storylines and angles that go nowhere. And this is a criticism I've heard people make of TNA that I've disputed. I don't see where these so-called dropped storylines and angles that never get completed are. I've asked people to point some out. Usually I only hear one. But it's always odd. The things they claim to say was a drop storyline usually ends up being a storyline that they also said was dumb. So it's like, wait a minute. So you complain about the storyline and now you complain that they dropped it and didn't do it? It's just weird here. Now let's take this week on Raw as an example. We had the 2/21/11 promo come down, and it was the return of The Undertaker. That's cool. I know some people thought it might have been Sting, but hey, WWE never said it was Sting. If you were disappointed that it was Undertaker, it's because you hyped yourself up too much. That's just something out there we've done to ourselves. I was a little disappointed that it was Undertaker too, but then I realized, look, they never said it was Sting. You did that to yourself. But anyway, Undertaker returns. Before he even opens his mouth, Triple H music returns. They have this really cool stare down. They never say a word, but they basically send a message that they're challenging each other for WrestleMania. At no point during the rest of the show was there any mention of the guys who, storyline wise, put these guys out for several months. In fact, the next segment on Raw was a Sheamus match. and he said nothing about Triple H. This is the guy that he put on the shelf. This is the guy who, for the past several months, bragged about the fact that you ended his career. I ended the career of Triple H. Triple H comes back, and Sheamus doesn't even mention it. Triple H doesn't say anything to Sheamus. Now, wouldn't it make sense that Sheamus would come after the guy who put him out? You know, Sheamus attacked Triple H as Triple H was saying goodbye to Shawn Michaels. Then they had the match. Sheamus attacked Triple H, beat the shit out of him. Wouldn't it make sense that Triple H would come back wanting some payback on Sheamus? Now understand, I'm not making the argument that this is necessarily bad. I personally wouldn't even want to see Triple H versus Sheamus. My point is, you bitch if TNA did it. I just look at this and say, you know, if this week on Impact, Samoa Joe came and beat the holy crap out of AJ Styles, and AJ was gone for months, and then a few weeks before Bound for Glory, AJ returns and he challenges Abyss to a match at Bound for Glory, everybody would lose their fucking mind. But where are the complaints about Triple H having no mention of Sheamus? Now, as for The Undertaker, I'm not going to say the same for The Undertaker, because Triple H interrupted him before he was talking. Maybe Undertaker was going to come out and call out Kane or Wade Barrett and the Nexus guys to help bury them. Maybe he was going to do it, so I can't really count Undertaker as this. Of course, 3 of the guys who helped bury Undertaker were Wade Barrett, Heath Slater, and Justin Gabriel were down part of the core, who were also on Raw Monday night and made no mention of The Undertaker. The Undertaker who they helped bury alive is back, and they never mentioned him. And remember, and speaking of Barrett, Slater, and Gabriel, remember when they were in the Nexus, and the Nexus was talking about their purpose, their greater purpose? Remember the Nexus talked all about that? That storyline that went nowhere? Remember when they helped Kane bury The Undertaker, and the next night on Raw, David Otunga and Wade Barrett are having an argument backstage? Then Otunga threatens Wade Barrett, and his threat was like to the effect that if you don't back off, he says, you know, maybe I should go out there and tell everyone the real reason why we attacked The Undertaker last night. So there was a reason for them attacking The Undertaker. And if you find that clip on YouTube and watch, when Otunga said that, Wade Barrett kind of backed off. So it was important that to Wade Barrett that we not know why they attacked The Undertaker, and that hasn't been mentioned since. And why haven't any of the ex-Nexus members been asked about the greater purpose? How come nobody has asked Daniel Bryan or Michael Tarver, who's hanging out backstage on a cell phone for no reason? Or Black Cena. What is Black Cena's name? Darren Young. Nobody's asked them what the point of the Nexus was about this purpose. Again, somehow, no complaints. I'm just saying, if TNA did it, everybody would lose their mind. Why? Because everybody seems to remember that whole Samoa Joe getting kidnapped thing. Oh, they can't shut up about that, about Joe getting attacked by the ninjas. Nobody can stop complaining about that. Moving on to number 2. Hot shotting titles and basically putting belts on guys too easily. You know, W has a habit for throwing the belt around. You know, guys who have lost and won belts on the same night. You know, I remember Edge loses the WWE title and then won the world title in the same night. Edge is like a 10, 11 time champion since 2006. Guys win the belt being in the company. You know, Sheamus wins the belt to being in the company less than a year, and dudes cash in Money in the Bank. So they just win belts for like cheap wins, and everybody seems to accept it. But Jay Lethal has a short X Division title reign. Oh God, I hear no end to the complaints. Oh, Ken Anderson was only champ for a month. Oh God, it's so awful. Because, you know, AJ was champ for 7 months. Rob Van Dam was champ for what? Let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August. He was champ at Hardcore Justice, so he was champ up. Hardcore Justice was what, August, I think? Was that August or July or August? But several months. Jeff Hardy helped won the belt in October. He was champion October, November, December, and part of January. Now he's got the belt back. But Ken Anderson gets a short title run. Now it's here they go throwing belts around. I don't. Let's see. Championships that don't matter. I've asked this question in so many of my videos, and I'm gonna ask it again. Why does Daniel Bryan have a belt that no one wants? To my knowledge, the last time there was a U.S. title match on TV or pay-per-view was before Survivor Series. I think he defended the belt against Ted DiBiase at Survivor Series. He won the belt from Miz at Night of Champions. Then he had the triple threat with Miz and Morrison. Then he was on the. What happened after that? I think bragging rights. He had a non-title champion versus champion match against Ziggler. Then he had 2 more matches with Ziggler where he beat Ziggler all 3 times. Then I think he had one title defense. I think that was either before Survivor Series or at Survivor Series against Ted DiBiase Jr. And that's the last time I remember. I think the match against Ted Jr. was the last time I can recall him defending the title. If I missed one, like an episode of Raw I missed and he did it, please let me know and I'll retract this one. But I can't remember the last time Daniel Bryan even defended his belt. I can barely recall the last time somebody said anything about wanting the U.S. title. I remember Ted DiBiase Jr. did before they had their match at that one pay-per-view. And then I remember Tyson Kidd said something about it on Raw, I think in January. And then immediately after Tyson Kidd goes out with his big bodyguard, he has a match with Mark Henry. Mark Henry squashes him, then whoops his bodyguard's ass, and we ain't seen the bodyguard since. What was the bodyguard? Jackson Andrews was his name. We ain't seen Jackson Andrews since. But somehow I don't hear anybody's talking about this except me. You know, I listen to about 5 or 6 different wrestling radio shows a week. Nobody mentions it. I listen to different people on YouTube. Nobody mentions. Now, am I missing something here? Am I the only one who hasn't seen the Daniel Bryan title defenses? Because I watch Raw every week. I think maybe last week I didn't see all of it. If there was a U.S. title match last week, send me the clip and I will come back and apologize. I can't recall Daniel Bryan defending that belt in months. Nobody else seems to complain. Oh, but a business hasn't defended his TV title in 30 days. Meltdown. Everybody's losing their goddamn mind. They're all yelling, strip him of the belt, strip him, strip him, strip him, strip him now. Dixon, you stupid. Why has he got a belt not defending? Everybody loses their freaking mind. And do I even have to get started on the WWE Tag Team titles? I mean, God, do we even have to talk about how much of a joke those belts are anymore? And last one for this video is number 4. Let's see, let me check my time. 13 minutes 46 seconds. Alright, let me go and wrap this up. Comedy segments and characters. A couple months ago, I watched a clip of SmackDown. I haven't watched a full episode of SmackDown in almost 2 years. But I heard about something in a spoiler and I had to go watch this. I watched a match between Hornswoggle and the Swagger Soaring Eagle. I heard not one complaint. First of all, if TNA even had characters like that, there would be non-stop bitching. Alright. If they even had a midget, or leprechaun, I'll be kayfabe, leprechaun. If a dude came out in a bird suit on TNA and actually wrestled a match. I mean, they used to do that funny thing with Eric Young in the turkey suit, but he never wrestled in the turkey suit. He just had some fun in it. This was an actual match that got like 5 or 6 minutes of TV time. I heard no complaints. Hornswoggle himself is like a mainstay in the WWE for. He's been around since like 2007. Where are the rants? Where are the fuck Hornswoggle rants? Where are the people ranting on Hornswoggle all the time? So every time somebody say, God, I don't like Hornswoggle, but I mean, is that it? Just I don't like Hornswoggle? That's all it gets? In comedy segments as a whole, for some reason WWE can have freaking Khali and Mark Henry have a dance off and it seems okay. If TNA even attempted it, it would be big. TNA brings out a semi-comic character like Robbie E and everybody loses their goddamn mind. Could somebody please explain to me why TNA gets more shit for having... TNA gets more complaints for having Robbie E and Eric Young, who are like actual wrestlers who can actually go in the ring and put on a decent match. They get 10 times as much shit for having Robbie E and Eric Young than WWE gets for Hornswoggle and the Swagger Soaring Eagle and freaking Santino Marella doing the damn Cobra as a finisher. The fact that no one's kicked out of the Cobra yet, to the best of my knowledge. I think that move has won every match. Well, they didn't do too well on Del Rio at the Rumble, but off topic. Alright, I'm at over 16 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. So these are my first 4. Now, if anybody would like to dispute any of these or tell why they don't feel that this is a double standard from the IWC, or a reason why they feel if you feel that it is a double standard but you feel that it should be a double standard, if there's a legitimate reason why we should only complain if TNA does these things, make a video response and send it to me. I'll hit approve and post a response. And I think maybe next week I'll do 4 more. Yeah, I think 4 is good, because there's so many others I want to do. Yeah, 4. I'll do 4 maybe each week until I get through them all, or just add examples of things during each week. Okay, so this is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.